Hey, it's Callan from Authentic Lifestyle Design, and today I want to talk to you about distancing yourself from people who aren't good for you, people that don't serve you, and making this a habit in your life because this can often be very difficult. This could be friends, it could be lovers, it could be even family in extreme cases. Sometimes people in your life are just outright toxic and you need to cut them out, either for a short period of time or maybe even for a longer period of time. And this is something that people really struggle to do. Like if a married couple are struggling and they've been struggling for a few years, it can be really hard for them to admit that that marriage is no longer serving either of them. Same with friendships. If you've been friends for 10 years and you grow apart, it can be really hard to acknowledge that you've grown apart. So the key of this video is I want to explore why distancing yourself is powerful and also how you can use this to your advantage in a couple of different areas in your life. So, at the end of the day, you train people how to treat you. I can say this working as a teacher, that if I went in there really, really chill, no expectations, you can do whatever you want, those kids would absolutely run the room. I wouldn't be able to teach, I wouldn't be able to do my job. And that's a perfect example of you train people how to treat you. So if people treat you poorly and you don't stand up for yourself, then people are actually being trained that they can treat you poorly and there's no consequence for that. And it's harder to untrain someone. So if you've trained someone to treat you a certain way, that's how they're going to treat you. And if you try and change that, it's more difficult. So the idea is to train someone how to treat you as quickly as possible. Initially, when they first meet you, you train someone, these are my expectations, these are my standards for this relationship, because you're going to have those. You're going to naturally have expectations and standards for every relationship in your life. If someone does something terrible to you, then you can forgive them, because forgiveness at the end of the day is an internal thing. It's forgiving the experience rather than necessarily the person. So you can actually forgive them for doing whatever they did. That doesn't mean you have to keep hanging out with them though, right? And that's up to you. And you can use this method of training people how to treat you to absolutely amplify your life. But that means also being a bit tough. If someone's starting to push your boundaries, you have to let them know. You have to look at them with a serious face and you have to say, I don't like that. That's not on. Don't do that again. And doing that over time, again, it trains people how to treat you. If you want to be treated with respect, you have to command respect. You have to do things that make you worth the respect, but you also have to command it. If someone's treating you like rubbish, you don't allow that. You say to them, don't treat me like that. If they continue to treat you like that, then you're going to have to cut them out of your life. You have to say to them, sorry, but if you're going to treat me like this, we're not doing business, we're not going to hang out, we're not going to see each other. And you do that. Now, another beauty of this is that a really, really quick way to get someone's attention is to remove your attention, right? So for example, if you're dating a girl and that girl thinks that she's got you under a thumb, right? Something you can do to reverse that, or not necessarily have her under your thumb, but to reverse that in a way where the relationship's going to be more healthy, is if she says something like, well, we're not going to do whatever, like we're not going to be intimate anymore, or something that you're just not okay with, you have to say, all right, well, I'm not interested in that. That's not my expectations. I want this. And you have to tell the girl or whoever it is what you want. Then what you do is you distance yourself. You go a little bit cold, right? So you don't message that person. You don't try and engage with that person. You wait for that person to reach out to you. And then when they do, you renegotiate the terms. And if they don't, then you know that they naturally don't really care about you and you can move on with your life. And leaving these relationships and leaving relationships in your life can be difficult because you've got a history with someone, you've got good memories. But the truth is, some people can just become toxic over time. And people can change. And people can change through their lives for better or for worse. So it's important that you're training people to treat you the way you want to be treated. Because if you take crap from somebody, then they're going to keep giving you more crap. If you don't set your boundaries and your own expectations, then people are going to walk all over you and they're going to feel like they can walk all over you. This is essentially what society means by being a nice guy. It's not that you're nice, it's that you're a pushover, and nobody wants to be a pushover. You need to have that mental toughness. You need to know who you are. You need to know what your expectations are. Because if people treat you poorly, in a way it's your fault because you're allowing them to treat you that way. You know, if you've got the freedom to walk away, which you almost always do, then you need to exercise that freedom. And you need to renegotiate the terms, right? And that goes in every area. If you've got a friend that's toxic, it's the same with a relationship. You go cold, you say, I don't like that. And then if they keep treating you like that, you distance yourself. Then if that person does like you, they care about you, they'll start to miss you, they'll reach out again, and you can say something along the lines of, well, you were treating me terribly. If you want to see me again, we have to renegotiate the terms of this relationship. So if someone's putting you down, you have to say, all right, from now on, I don't want you to do that. And if you do that, you're going to lose me. I'm going to leave your life. I'll be gone. And that creates a way to renegotiate terms, and it creates mental toughness for you, and it allows you to have standards. Because having standards is incredibly important and something you need in your life. Because again, people that don't have standards, they get walked all over. Right? They're pushovers. You need to know that sweet spot. You can allow people, you can help people, you can do nice things for people, but if someone pushes you too far, if someone asks something that you're not comfortable delivering upon, you have to be forward about that and you have to let them know. So this is an essence of lifestyle design, because your relationships throughout your life will change. So some people will stay. Hopefully your family stays and you'll have a great group of friends and you'll have some amazing relationship that lasts a long time, if that's what you want. But if anyone in those circles starts treating you poorly, you have to notice and you have to do something about that. And again, distancing yourself is probably the most direct way to let someone know you're serious, because they'll start missing you. And when they start missing you, they'll want to reach out to you. And when they do, that's when you renegotiate the terms. And that's very powerful in any relationship. It's a really powerful way to renegotiate a relationship, because people, especially if you were too nice, if you were a bit of a pushover, people think you're kidding, even if you are serious, right? So then distancing yourself from that person actually shows them that you are serious. And all of a sudden, again, if they cared about you, they're going to miss you. They're going to try and contact you. When they do, you can contact them back, renegotiate the terms. But you also might want them to make them earn that. You might just not want to give yourself to somebody. You might want them to earn that, to earn your respect, to earn your trust. So that could be an example. If you're in a relationship and a girl's treating you poorly and you walk out and say, okay, well, we're having a break, and you just leave, right? Then when she does reach out, you say to her, all right, well, here's what's going to happen. And again, it sounds a little bit sexist and whatever, but you say, all right, you're going to come over, you're going to cook me dinner, we're going to have a good night. You're going to show me that you care about me. Because if you're going to be in my life, I want to know that you care about me. And if she can humble herself to do that, then you know she's serious, and you know that those terms are going to be renegotiated, and you know that she actually cares about you, because she can actually push past her ego to actually come and do that. And therefore, it's important, and you'll gain respect. You'll gain the respect of people. I mean, it's great to be nice. It's nice. It's good to be good to people, right? But the quote-unquote nice guy saying isn't because they're nice, it's because they're pushovers. And it's because they're trying to get what they want, not through asking for it, not through chasing it, but through basically being a pushover and being overly nice to everyone because they think that's how they'll get what they want. When that's very rarely the case. If you want something, you have to put in the effort, you have to go and chase it. And that's masculine energy. Masculine energy is to go and chase something. It's the divine push. You have to go and chase it. You have to go and achieve it. You know, if you want $1 million, you can't just blink and it's there. You've got to go and get it. You've got to go and develop the skills and the investments and the assets and whatever else to acquire it. That's what it is to be masculine. If you want to go out with a girl, you have to go and ask her out and escalate. Again, that's what it is to be masculine. And lifestyle design is all about this. And lifestyle design is all about constantly looking at your relationships, because you might have friends that, for example, if someone invites you out and you don't want to go, how many people go? How many people go out when they don't want to go out, right? Just because they feel obligated to do it. And sometimes this is okay, but if you've got a friend you really don't care that much about, even if they're a nice person, like they're not always bad people, even if they're a nice person, but you just don't click with them, and they invite you to a bunch of things, and you say yes just because you feel obligated to, that's coming from a place of being a nice guy. You're being too nice, but you're sacrificing your own life doing this. So sometimes you have to be honest and you have to say to somebody, well, I just don't think we're clicking anymore. Be that a friendship or a relationship. Family, it can happen. Now, family, again, it would be really, really hard and really, really upsetting. But if someone in your family got on a bunch of drugs, they became really aggressive, really disagreeable, really angry, and you couldn't help them, because I mean, it's great to try and help them, but if that's not working, then sometimes you do. You just have to let them go. You have to let them out of your life. You're always there. You're always like, I'm always here if you change your life and we click again at some point in the future. I've got a friend like this. We fell apart. It was about 1.5 years and he reached out and now we're mates again. And that's just sometimes how it happens. But you've got to have expectations and you've got to push your standards. You've got to be an authentic, masculine individual if you're watching this kind of video of like men's lifestyle design. You've got to have that divine push, right? Because if you don't, you're going to be essentially a pushover, and being a pushover is going to lead to suffering in your life because you're not always going to get what you want. So, bit of a real video, bit of a serious one, but every now and then you need one of these, a nice kick. And think of this video like a nice kick. Because statistically, you're in some kind of relationship now that isn't serving you, be that a romantic one, or you've got friends, or you like work in a terrible place for whatever reason, you're not respected, you're not valued. And again, you don't just demand to be valued. You've got to actually back that up with your actions. You've got to back that up with your life. You've got to become someone that's worth respecting and somebody that is valued. So you can't just demand it. But if you're doing the right things and you are becoming who you want to become, you do have to demand that. And I get that in areas with my business I'm building here, you know, because there's a crabs in a bucket effect with entrepreneurship. When you try and climb up beyond the norm, there is a tendency for some people to try and pull you down, even if they're good people. Often maybe because they're scared or because they're worried or whatever it is. But you got to keep going. And sometimes you have to say to people, okay, say you want to be a musician and someone's saying, oh, you'll never do that. You should just give up and do whatever, you know, work at Woolworths or Starbucks, whatever else, right? You've got to sometimes say to that person, okay, well, I'm doing this. And if you're going to push me down, if you're going to give me negative energy towards my goals, if you're going to tell me I can't do things that I'm aspiring to do, and you're going to put that spark of negativity and throw that at me, then we can't talk to each other because I have to focus on achieving this thing. Sometimes you have to do that, and a lot of successful people do that short term. You know, there's lots of entrepreneurs and business people that are successful now that at some point had to say to even sometimes their parents, like, don't talk to me. If you're going to have this negative attitude, I cannot talk to you. I cannot be around that right now. Because building a business is stressful. And the reality is that most people fail. And most of those people that fail because they gave up. So as a result, if you can stop and think about it, people just need space sometimes. And if you're trying to do something huge, or if people are demonizing your lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle you're going to continue living, then sometimes you have to shut them out. Especially if you're doing something like entrepreneurship where there's no guaranteed results. You know, it's going to take years and years of struggle, but if you get there, it's worth it. And most people don't see that. Most people's brains don't work like that. Most people are locked into the 9 to 5, go to work, get your salary, have a family, whatever kind of lifestyle. So if you're not, you do get the crabs in a bucket effect. It's like, you're different. Let's pull him into the norm. So society has a way, if you're struggling, it'll pull you up to sort of average, right? But if you're average and you try and climb higher, society actually can work in reverse and it can try and pull you back down. The people around you can try and pull you back down. So if you gained any value from this video, give it a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share it with anyone you think it will help, because there's some toxic relationships out there, and if someone sees something like my video or a similar video made by somebody else, it could have a monumental impact on their life. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day.